Jack, we're ready to go. Why don't you just get us started with your opening statement?
Yeah, obviously disappointed in the outcome, 31-26. Again, positives, loved the kids' effort, start to finish. Even the first half, we played super hard, very frustrated at halftime. Talking to the guys about how hard they're playing, and we're not getting pushed around. I know they're big and physical up front, but our defensive front guys are not getting pushed around. We're not getting pushed around on offense. We're not. The week before against Cincinnati, we lost a lot of physical matchups one-on-one. Against Minnesota, did we lose some physical matchups? Yes, but way less. We won way more physical matchups than we did the week before. Defensively in the first half, we talked all week. They do a good job of staying ahead of the chains. They don't get a bunch of third and longs. That's how they play offense. They're very careful with what they do. They control the football. Third down's the key. You got to be good on third down, whether it's 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 15. You got to be good. We actually had them in a couple 3rd and longs in the first half and didn't execute. Had them in some 3rd and mediums, didn't execute. Actually, the 3rd and short is what we did best at. But they did a nice job in the first half of keeping drives alive, and that's why they got 21 points in the first half. We had all 3 drives. It wasn't like Cincinnati where it was big play, game over. It was driving methodically like Minnesota does down the field, and we didn't play very good third down defense in the first half, and that's why they had 21. Offensively, again, our inability to sustain and finish, but we were moving the ball better, obviously, than we were against Cincinnati. We were mixing in run and pass. We were able to get the ball. You felt like at halftime we could drive and score on this team, all right? A lot of times against Cincinnati, I didn't necessarily sit there and think we could drive a long drive and score on Cincinnati, but Minnesota, I felt like we could, but we didn't sustain. And one time we got down on the 20, and next thing you know, we go backwards. So halftime, we talked a lot about, like, it's there for the taking. They're a good football team. They're going to make you earn it. They're going to play physical. They're going to do the things they do, but we can play physical with them. We're holding up. Now we got to out-execute them in the second half. Defense, you got to get off the field on third down. Then third quarter, we got them in the third down, got off the field. Got them in the third down, got off the field. Got them in the third down, got off the field. And again, that's against Minnesota. You have to do that. They're going to try to possess the football like they did in the first half. The first half, we had 4 possessions on offense the whole half. That's their game. And then offensively, drove down and got a touchdown. Then we drove down, kicked a field goal. Then we drove down, got a touchdown. You're sitting at 21-20. And now, again, you got yourself back in it. You've outscored them 17-0 over a quarter plus. And then the next 3 possessions were the game. And it wasn't 3, not talking about 3 offensive possessions. I'm talking about our kickoff, our special teams have a chance to go out there, and we have them dead to rights at the 21-yard line. We have them smothered at the 21, and we lose leverage. We have 2 guys ready to make a hit on the 21, but the one guy loses leverage. Therefore, the other guy is useless because the other guy was inside of him, and our leverage player loses leverage, which is a cardinal sin, and they bounce it out to the 48. We should have had him pinned with, obviously, all the energy on our sidelines. We're dominating the second half, and then we should be smacking them on the kickoff, and we don't. And then our defense has a chance to go out there. It's a short field. I get it. We put them on 3 short fields, of the 31 points. 17 of the points were on short fields, but we got to do better on short fields. Like, we had an opportunity to get out and get a stop and get the ball back to the offense down 1, which you got a great chance to win the game, and we give up a touchdown. Still fine at that point because we're just down 8. We just had the ball last time down 8. The last time the offense, we kept talking the offense when they weren't. As worst case scenario, you're going to get the ball right back where we're down 8, like 1 possession game, and then we make a bad read on a pass. We're reading it inside out. The safety's the read. If the safety's inside, we're going to throw the ball outside one-on-one at the W. We throw a pick to our read. Like, obviously the safety was inside because he intercepted the ball. So we try to make a play and probably force something that's not there, but in a critical time, a really bad decision. And so special teams lose leverage. Defense can't get a stop on a short field. Offense turn the ball over. Next thing you know, you're down 11 points with 4+ minutes to go, and all your hard work. And again, it still reverts back to the first half because, again, were you going to play a flawless second half and just outscore them 24-0? Probably not. So it still goes back to what did you do in the first half? How'd you come out of the locker room? Did you have the same focus, because again, we play hard. Like everybody tells, anybody who watches the opposing coaches pregame, the opposing coaches, man, your kids play hard. Man, your kids play hard. Man, they fly around. Okay, I got it, right? But we have to, again, you were a 20-point underdog or 18-point underdog on the road against a Big Ten team, you got to be able to make a few more plays. So tons of positive things on both sides of the ball in ST. Obviously, our kicker kicked tremendously well. We had some good coverage stuff. Our first kickoff, we went down and knocking guys flying around. Offensively, we got some things done in the run game against a physical Big Ten football team. Not a ton, but it wasn't like we weren't going backwards. We weren't, a lot of short gains, but we stayed ahead of the chains for the most part. We threw the ball around. Our play action game was pretty good. We threw 3 balls down the field for big chunk plays, which we didn't really get the week before. So tons of positive. Obviously, the 2 turnovers on offense are critical. Obviously, third down defense in the first half was critical. And again, that's you lose by 5 points on the road. And the frustrating thing for us is our kids just disappointed and upset. They're not, no one's, which is a good thing. And even the coaches, it's like we played a really good game on the road against a quality opponent who almost just beat Ohio State. And we know we can play better. And the expectations is we play better from the kids, from the coaches. So a lot of positives to pull from that game. But again, there's still a lot of improvement for the 2021 Miami football team. And we're gonna keep working, improve, and get better. And obviously, moving forward, you got Cincinnati, you got Minnesota, and then you got Long Island coming in here. Obviously, different cast of characters, obviously, coming into town. But it's the same thing like we always talk about. They're all winnable, they're all losable. Like it's not, some opponents are a little stronger and faster, some of them have a little more experience, but they do things on offense. You watch their offense, you watch their defense, they blitz a ton, they do a lot of stuff in coverage, and if you don't read it right and you throw it in the wrong spot, they're gonna pick it off. If you don't block it up right, they're going to hit you for a tackle for loss. They do a lot of different things offensively. And again, they had the ball for 36 minutes or 37 minutes against FIU. Now they didn't score a bunch, but they possess, they do things they can. So again, they have college football players and they have talented kids. They have a big, strong tailback. They have a quarterback that can whip around. They got some receivers. They got plenty of able bodies if you don't do it right. So again, focus is always on us, and this week it'll be on us again. If we could have just cleaned up our stuff, third down in the first half, there's some things we could have defended, had nothing to do with Minnesota. There's some things offensively we could have done better, had nothing to do with Minnesota. So just like every week, we're going to make Long Island earn it as much as we can, make them beat us physically, and not have those again, way less mental letdowns this week than the first week against Cincinnati, but there's still room for improvement to grow, and that's what the focus will be this week.
Just looking back at Minnesota real quick, do you look at it as there a moral victory because you only lost by 5 to a Big Ten team, or do you feel like you almost let one get away?
I really don't look at it anyway. We lost the game. You either win the game or you lose the game. We do what we always do is you look at, when you lose, you don't say that everything stinks, and when you win, everything's great. You look at every facet of the game, OD and special teams, in every situation, and how did you play physically and how did you play mentally in all those situations? So that's our deal. You play better teams, you have better chances to lose games. There's less margin for error, So it's always about winning. It was a winnable game. We're at this point, we didn't beat Cincinnati the first week. I know it didn't come out as 49-14. It wasn't very close, but we thought we could beat Cincinnati. We went the way to beat Cincinnati. I still think we beat Cincinnati. That's not how you ever approach a game. And then Minnesota, same way. We went there to win a game. We thought it was a winnable game. We respect them. We thought they're a really good team. We watched them go toe-to-toe with Ohio State. That get your juices flowing when you saw that game. And it's like, okay, they're good, But we still feel like we're good. And so, again, tons of positives to take away. But at the end of the day, why didn't you win the game? And then you critically look at those things and you keep working hard to improve in those areas. So I don't know. I think we're always disappointed now because I think we always think we can win, So I think we just get disappointed and then we analyze what we do, And I think the players do the same thing. They look at, hey, what could have I done better? What should have I done better? What can I do better? And then move from there. So.
Is Long Island could you compare them to any team that Miami fans might be familiar with in terms of their approach, their style, how they play, that kind of thing? Because frankly, we don't know a lot about Long
Yeah,
Island.
they're similar. They're similar offensively to a lot, and they run similar stuff on offense at a lot of colleges. They run a lot of stuff we've seen, sneak routes, and some of their passing game is very similar. So I mean, defensively, we've seen a lot of the stuff that they do. They have a few different wrinkles. They got a few unique plays in there, but for the most part, they're pretty much like college offenses nowadays. They're not a triple option team. They're gonna do their gun runs, and they do their RPOs, and they do their sneak routes off it, and so they're pretty standard on from that side. Defensively, they just have a lot of defense. They run a lot of defense, so they run a lot of coverages. I'm a DB guy, and usually teams run 3-4 coverages, and maybe have a little something on third down. They run just about every coverage I've ever seen in the course of a couple weeks. So we're going to have to be on our business offensively. So compare them, I don't know who to compare them to. I don't know. But I mean, they're pretty. I mean, all the coverages are normal coverages. Just they run a lot of them. So, and they like to pressure. They like to. I guess last week they pressured an insane amount. So they like to get after you, similar to Cincinnati's from we're going to come at you, and you're going to make plays under duress. So I would compare them to Cincinnati, but similar style of defense when it comes to being aggressive.
Can you just talk a little bit about being excited about playing at home? For this feels like forever since we've had a home game.
Yeah, what the number will be, I don't even know. It's like, what do we have? In 19 we played 5 out of 14 at home, and then last year 1 out of 3, so that's 6 out of 17. So 6 out of our last 19. We played 13 road games and 6 home games in our last 19, which again that's unheard of in college football. I mean, that's unheard of. I mean, you usually play half your games at home and half on the road, and if you might MAC championship game and bowl game, okay, those are road games, but even if you take the MAC championship and the bowl game out, you're talking 6 of your last 17 games are at home. And again, one, we're excited to be back home, all right? 2, we know there's only 5 of them. Like after Saturday, we got 4 home games. You don't have many left. So yes, any chance we get to be at home is huge for us, to play in front of our home crowd, and to not have to travel and not have to sleep in a hotel and not have to do all those arrangements. So we certainly don't mind being on the road because we don't have a choice. So we've, as everybody knows, we've become a pretty damn good road football team. We can kind of play anywhere and play, and we're not going to make an excuse that we play on the road. We're not going to make an excuse that we travel, 7 out of 12 times a year, So you'd like to play 7 home games. That's the goal. Like that's what teams do in college football. You try to play 7 home games, and so this is just kind of how it is. But yes, we love being at home. We love being in front of our home fans. We love being at Yager Stadium. It's a nice advantage to have we had some very faithful people at Minnesota, but we had a very small section, and so it was pretty quiet in the second half, which was pretty nice. It was like you could hear our fans, and it was a pretty good deal. So, but yeah, no, we love it, and again, because we have so few opportunities to play at home, we cherish them more than most people. I mean, even our families and friends, and like so many people. God, you guys, it's so nice. You guys can be at home this week. Everybody's excited. That and all the people that travel with us. Everybody, like, it's just nice. The game gets over, and you actually don't have to travel back and spend all your day away from everybody. So yeah, no, it's awesome. We're looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to all 5 at home this year.
Oh, Coach, we talked to you Saturday after the game. You weren't sure about a couple guys being hurt. How'd you, being Monday morning, what do you know?
The big picture from a long-term standpoint, we came out of it great. There's nothing long-term, which is always awesome. You play a big physical team like Minnesota, and you come out with nothing long-term, you're always excited. Sunday, our guys were hurting. So that's we lifted and moved and stretched, and Luke did a really good job, but there was a lot of more recovery yesterday, and there was a lot of guys that didn't feel great on the flight home and then felt a lot worse on Sunday morning. So, and again, not bad, just where does it hurt? And kind of they looked at me like kind of everywhere, like shoulder, ribs, hip, knee, quad, ankle, head, ear, nose, like just, but again, we'll take overall, you got 7 days to get ready. So big picture, really good news. There was nothing that, okay, this kid's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. It's more, okay, we're going to have to be smart with our recovery. They got yoga today. We're going to be smart at practice tomorrow. And our kids are good, and Luke is good, and Paul and the training staff do a good job. But it's going to be, it's accumulation of Cincinnati, Minnesota back to back were both really nice. But so for the most part, those 2 weeks we came out of it decent. Obviously McWood and Homer didn't play last week, which those are, we would have loved to have both of them in a really tight game. If 2 of your better players would have been nice. But big picture, we're doing okay, and I think we came out last week better than.